Good morning. As promised, I was going to make a puzzle card this week. Just to remind you, this was the one that we made last week at the event that I went to. And it's called a puzzle card. But see how these pieces, like this goes with that, and this goes with this. So the pieces fit together kind of like a puzzle. And then it opens up and you have your greeting on the inside, or you could put it on the back if you wanted to. So I'm using some of this nests of winter designer paper because I wanted something, not just with stripes or dots or something. I wanted something that had a picture so that when you put it together, you can see that it matches. And I'll show you what I mean here. See this bird here that's been cut? That all goes together. There's the pine cone. There's that bough. There's a little piece of the tail there, so that you can see when this is closed that these were all, the same scene. So, and then I just did that on the inside. So let's get started. So the base of your card is going to be 4¼ by 9½. And I'm using a garden green this time. And you're going to want to score it at 1 and 2 inches at both ends. So the easiest way to do that, I think, is just going to score it at 1 inch and at 2 inches, and then just turn it around and do the same thing. One inch and 2 inches. I didn't bring a bone folder over here. Well, that's okay. So what I should be left with then, once I fold this, is that 5½ inches on the inside, and then this is the 4¼ this way. And then we're just going to fold it like this. So you fold it, the 2 inch one in, and then fold the 1 inch one back out. All right, so you're left with a piece that looks like that. All right. Now, here's my piece of designer paper. And I'm going to cut this so that I have two pieces, and sorry, this is hard to read, two pieces that are 3 by 1 7/8. I said 2 to begin with, and that was too big. I had to adjust a little bit. So this piece right here is 5 by 3 3/4. Okay, so if I cut it down the middle at, oh, you know what? I cut it 2 last time. So I want this to actually be 1 7/8. So that should be 1 7/8 from either side. When I cut it at 2, it was too big. So there's my 1 7/8. Okay, so now I have a 1 7/8 for the top piece and for the bottom piece. Now remember, I want now this 3 inches and 2 inches and 3 inches and 2 inches. You'll see once I get it cut. Get such a glare on this. I'm sorry about that. Okay, let's move that out of the way. All right, so this was my piece that was 5 by 3 3/4. And I cut it halfway, which is 1 7/8 long ways. And then I cut on the top a 3 inch and a 2 inch, and on the bottom a 2 inch and a 3 inch. And that will make my 4 pieces that go together. Now then and again, my original card was white. But for this piece, for the mat that each of these is going to go on, I have those cut already. See, and they're going to fit together again, just like this. And these are 3 1/4 and 2 1/4 by 2 1/8. So 2 1/8 and 2 1/8 is going to make up our 4 1/4. That's how tall the card is. So now I'm just going to glue these pieces together. Get the bottom two, and again, see, I'm trying very hard to keep them in order, because if you get them out of order, then the puzzle pieces, the pictures don't fit on the front. They'll be in the wrong place. So that's important, is to get these pieces lined up before you start putting them on the card. Okay, there's that piece and this piece. Okay, and remember that's our little pine bough that comes over there. And then I'm going to do these two. I just keep everything laid out and it helps me. Card's not difficult. You just really want to be good with your measurements on the front this time. Well, every time, I'm sure, but especially this time. Okay. Okay, now see, I've still got, there's the bird, there's the bottom of this bird, there's that little bit of pine, there's that little bit of pine. So these are my pieces, how they should fit together on the front of the card. So now, I'm not going to do it this time, but just need a regular piece of 4 by 5 1/4 to stamp and put on the inside. I'll do that later because it's nothing, nothing special. Just that's going to go there. But you have these two pieces. So what you're going to do is these two here on this side are going to line up on this one. So let me put I'm going to use Terran tape. I find it to be a very strong adhesive, which is good. Even though I'm not tearing, I'm actually cutting, but and I can use the liquid glue, but then I've got to kind of hold on to it for, a couple minutes to make sure that it sets. All right, so this again, and I'm putting it on how this is going to be on the front, and this piece is going to go right here, and this piece is going to go right here. Okay. Make sure I have that right. All right. So now I'm going to take my adhesive cover strips off. And I find it actually, I tried when I first made it, I had it like this and put those on, and it's very kind of cumbersome. So if you'll just take it and lay it flat, that one goes there, and this one goes here. Okay, so now when you fold that in, see, that's how that gets on the inside. I guess I could just take a piece of this. Let me just take a piece of this right quick and put it on the inside so you can see what that looks like. I keep copy paper sometimes to put on the inside of a card if it's like bulky, just because I don't want to add any extra weight to it, but just so you can see what this would look like. I'm going to go ahead and put this piece of white on the inside, and I'll stamp something later. Okay, so now we've got these two on that side, and these two are going to line up on this side. So I'm going to put the tape down on those. Again, I went to Beth Brock. I went to her event that she had last weekend. It was over in St. Cloud. And she had the puzzle card with the presents on it. And I had not done a puzzle card before, so I thought this would be fun. Okay, so again, I'm going to line these up. They're lining up exact. You're not leaving any kind of a border or anything on these. Make sure that that's right. No, see how I had that turned? You got to be very careful not to do that. Okay, so now when I fold them together, there you go. They match up. Isn't that cute? And then you can see that it's one scene. Like I said, there's no reason you couldn't do it with some other kind of paper. It just wouldn't have the same effect. It would have this effect, so it would be fun, would be a fun fold, but it wouldn't be a puzzle card necessarily with the scene on it. Okay, and then again on hers, we did this little just for you. I tried on, and I did a to you on my other one. If you leave it just like this, to me, it was just too blank. You know, it needed something. So this time I'm going to stamp, I was looking for, it could be Mary. That's what I wanted to use. And that fits. I had some of these little white pieces, you know, always cut extra of those, and I have them in a little container. Where did I put my block though? One. There we go. And I'm doing this in espresso, so I will continue to do this in espresso. Could have done it in a red. You know what? I have a red out. Why don't I try this in a red, since Be Merry is definitely a Christmassy type. I didn't have my red pad, but you know you can always color on your stamps with your markers too. If you don't have the right color ink pad, you can use your markers. And I always huff on it just to make sure the ink is nice and moist, because it takes a little bit longer to color. There you go. Look at that. Okay, so I'm going to put that here, and then I'm going to, now see, that one's to me stands out a little more than this one does, the 2U. I like that though, but I'm putting it down here because I still want to be able to see how these go together, you know? So I had some, there we go. See, I know I had some dimensionals over here. Put those on there. And I found some pine cones. And this is actually two of these together. How did that happen? I don't know. I need to get this. Look how I've got two dimensionals sticking together. I'm just going to take that off because that will make it too high. That does bring up a good point that you can make something higher by sticking two dimensionals together. I think when I took it off, it just flipped over on itself. Okay, so I'm going to put this down here. And then I had these pine cones that, you know, you would stamp and then you could cut out. So I could do one of those, or this time I think I might try, this was another set. I might try doing one of those. Do I like that on the inside, or if I like the darker? Trying to decide if I want the darker on the front or the back. I think I like it better on the front. So I'll put a little bit of glue on here. When I cut this out, I could have used some of the sticker paper on the back of it, just so that I didn't have to put glue, because then I always worry that I'm gonna stick it to something else. There we go. See, you can see the little bit of white glue, but it dries clear. I'm not worried about it. And then I will pop this one up. Well, maybe I'll pop this one up double, just so that it'll be above the Be Merry. Okay. All right, so easy card again, and you would put your greeting on the inside. If you just wanted to put a picture on the inside, you could always put a piece of cardstock on the back and right there. So cute little card. These were the two that I just did using the winter nesting nest is in there. And this is the one she used with the gifts. And then we had the little ornament inside that you can pull off and use. So cute card, easy card, but there is some cutting that's involved. Um, but I hope that you might try it because they're fun cards. And I hope you have a great day. Bye.